yeah, count it up. Too much money, I can't think I need to round it up. Big bags, got them busting out the zipper phone, buzzing for the deal, moving haters out the middle like, count it up, yeah, count it up. Too much money, I can't think I need to round it up. Boss lady, I ain't asking for no loan. I be in and out the bank so much, I turn it to my home. On a mission, when I set my goal, I go and get it. Never hiding, if I just want you to know who did it. Star status, want my palette full of gold. See me signing on them papers, autograph is set in stone. Yeah, I'm elevating, making moves, no hesitating. Shine on them like I'm laminated. Point blank, no interrogating. Blue hunters, my numbers running, I stay stunting. Know who it is when you see me coming. More wins that you can't stomach. Namesake on my way to London. Count it up, yeah, count it up. Too much money, I can't think I need to round it up. Big bags, got them busting out the zipper phone, buzzing for the deal, moving haters out the middle like, count it up, yeah, count it up. Too much money, I can't think I need to round it up. Boss lady, I ain't asking for no loan. I be in and out the bank so much, I turn it.
All right, y'all. We got J Nolan here. Introduce yourself to the people.
What's up, everybody? I'm London Elixir, music producer, DJ, sync queen, all that stuff.
Yes. And so we're having a conversation here because we have a new song, or a new placement rather, for our song Count It Up in Will Trent, which is gonna be out by the time y'all actually see this. So make sure that y'all actually go check out Will Trent's A Dope Show on ABC. And London here actually has multiple placements in the show this season. So although I am a part of this Count It Up placement, she already actually has a placement in the show already. And just give us a little bit of your background in doing stuff like this for the people that don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So Will Trent specifically, I got connected to the music supervisor company years ago, and I've been placed on some of the other shows that they supervise for. So Will Trent, this is actually the second year in a row that I've got placed on that show. I was on the last season. This year, this is the third placement then for this total like thing. But as far as like my background in sync, found out about it in like 2017, 2018, a long time ago. I heard the word sync for the first time, and I was like, oh, I need to figure out what that is, because I'm a music producer and I'm trying to make some money, and I don't want to be dependent on getting artist placements or selling beats and leases. You know, I'm trying to figure out something that's going to make some real money. So I started researching, and then eventually got my first placement in like 2021. And it's really just been up and stuck ever since there. Like I've had hundreds of placements since then, continuously still getting them from a lot of different avenues. And now I teach people how they could do the same thing through the film that I created called Sink or Swim, and also through workshops that we do at schools and writing camps, adults, students, whoever wants to learn about sync, we offer that information as well.
Absolutely. And shoot, I'm actually in the in Sink or Swim, the film.
Yes.
So definitely make sure y'all check that out, man. London, for those of y'all that y'all have been tuned in on my channel, y'all may see because I open every video with a song. I've played our song. I've played Getting to the Money. I've played Work to open up shows, and people really, really like Work when I play it. And
Work is one of the ones.
Yeah, so for those of y'all that have actually heard me open up my episodes with that song, London Elixir is the producer of that record. I've told y'all that before, but now y'all get to actually meet her. So yeah, the
Hey, guys.
pioneer behind that one. All right. So and also in working with London, one day she hit me up, and we were just bouncing ideas, and she hit me and was like, hey, would you mind writing a song for like a female rapper? I didn't know who the female rapper was, by the way. And I was like, yeah, for sure. So dang, my camera started messing up as I'm telling this story. So she sends me the beat. I work on it and just come up with some ideas and stuff, send it back. And next thing you know, when I hear the final version, it's her. So this is something that we've been working on. She's kind of been stepping up as a vocalist on tracks as well. Go ahead and let people know like what the decision was for you to actually do that on some of the music that you've been working on.
Yeah, absolutely. And real quick, your video was still paused. I don't know if it was paused on your side, but from my side, the last like few things you said, it was kind of paused. So I didn't
It's
know
okay.
if you wanted. Okay, cool.
It's okay.
Okay, bet. Yeah, so actually when I first sent you that song, well, the beat rather, I wasn't thinking that I was gonna be the vocalist. I was planning on having a female vocalist like jump on who I knew. But then it was like, I knew I was gonna be pitching a song for Sync. And in Sync, your business has to be in order. You can't really play games about stuff like that. So the people who I knew who actually had their business in order, I didn't think that they would want to rap lyrics written by somebody else because they were writers themselves. And the one who I actually had one in particular in mind, but she didn't have her business straight. So I was like, I guess I can't. And the time that you were writing the song, you got it back to me because you write fast. And that like whatever day or two, I was like, oh my gosh, like he got it back so fast. And I'm like, dang, this girl ain't gonna be able, I don't want to risk nothing when it comes to Sync because especially getting placements independently, like how well you do business and how professional you are really goes a long way. And I would never want something to come back on me and they're like, oh, there's a problem. So I was like, dang, I already asked them to write the song. I can't let it go to waste. And I was like,
Okay.
okay, let me hop on the track. Let me do it. So that's how I ended up doing that song. But people really liked it. And a lot of people were like, oh, your voice sounds so cool on the track. So that's what kept me open to doing a few more. So we have like a few together now.
Yep.
Maybe like three, I think, where
Yeah.
you and I performed it. So one
Yep.
is
Yep.
out, Get Into the Money, Count It Up, which also has already been placed. Get Into the Money was on The Hype, actually,
Yep.
on HBO. And then Count It Up is now on Will Trent. And the third one, y'all will find out about once I get that one placed.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. But yeah, it's always interesting, like when that's the task at hand is for me to write for a woman because like people know on my channel, like I actually really do listen to the ladies in hip hop and I just really just kind of go from there. Like I listen to how y'all articulate yourselves, the style, the swag, and just kind of take my already knowledge of hip hop and just kind of bring those things together. And I didn't really know how it would turn out because I remember I had a request years ago for someone else that wanted me to like write an album for
Mm,
a lady in hip hop, and I don't even know what happened with that artist.
mm,
But I started and just don't know what happened to the artist. I don't know what happened to the songs or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
you were like the first person that I actually got to hear um say lyrics of mine that I wrote down from the female perspective. Like I've of course written for other guys, but
Yeah.
you were the
Which
first one.
Which is crazy to me because, like, I know a lot of females have ghost writers, like, a lot of females, like, or people in general.
Yeah,
But if
yeah.
I was, like, to look for a ghost writer, you would be one of the first people on my list because I really respect your craft. Like, every time I hear something from you, it is, like, top tier. Your
Appreciate
flows,
it.
like, everything, your lyricism is, like, fire. So, like, I don't know how you haven't written for more women. Like I don't know how more women wouldn't reach out to you because your flow is like crazy. Even when you sent the record to me, I be having to record one bar at a time sometimes like, to make sure I get it right, okay? Because like you be switching it up, but it's so fire. Like I love it.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. But at the time, that's just how it played out. Like again, I've had others since then, but you were the first.
Mm,
So but it's always fun to like step outside of like myself.
mm-hmm.
And that's something that I definitely took on a couple years ago and it actually really expanded my songwriting ability. It expanded like my creativity and everything. So super dope. So when it comes to getting into sync and your music production, um, what's your mindset going into these types of these types of projects? Is it the same as when you're producing for, let's say an artist, like a standard artist project, or do you feel like you create from like a different space?
Yeah, that's a great question. I definitely create from a different space than when I'm working with an artist, simply because artists typically have a vision that they're trying to go for. So, like, I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing what the artist would want. as opposed to when I'm creating for sync, I'm trying to make sure I'm following what the brief says. So with the artist, I have a little more input like directly, whereas
Hmm.
with briefs sometimes like they could be very vague and you're just like hoping like you've heard the reference tracks of what the sound is that they're going for, and the brief says this, and you're like, well, I hope that I make this mark. But with the artist, you're usually in the studio with them or in constant communication, and they could literally be like, oh yeah, add that in, I like the way that sounds, you know.
Right,
So
right.
that's the difference in the two creative processes. I do like creating for sync too, because I feel like I have a little more freedom. Even though I'm trying to match a brief, it's more like I get to choose if I like it as well. Like, because sometimes you could create for other people, like artists, and you might be like, that's not where I would have went with that. But if they like it, that's all that matters, because this is
Right.
their project and you want to make sure that you're matching what they do. So that, I would say, that's the difference in a mindset. Songs like Count It Up, I know are very like, I don't want to say common, but as far as like that sound is common in the sync world as far as songs that people want.
Hmm.
And just being in Atlanta, like kind of getting into that bag of like feeling kind of like gritty, like, like it was like fun to create. It wasn't like one of the harder tracks that I've had to produce.
Got
It
you.
was more fun. Yeah.
Got you. And I noticed at the top of our conversation, you mentioned how you had a relationship prior with the company behind this Will Trent, as far as the music supervisors and stuff like that. So can you let people know like um how that relationship came to be, and just like the importance of relationships when it comes to uh getting your music placed?
Oh, absolutely. So I met the music supervisor from the company back in, like, I want to say it was 2022, y'all, at a film festival. So I'm still early. Like I told you, I got my first sync placement in 2021. So I'm still pretty early in my sync, experience, but I'm going to events to meet people, because a lot of times like you'll get placed based off of the fact that people know you and your music is good. It can't just be you're submitting music blindly and they've never met. You could get placements like that, but you're more likely to get them when people know you, they put a face with the name, and y'all get along well. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was on this, let me go meet people, because I feel like I'm like not the typical thing you see in the sync world as far as like I produce. I produce for real, not just make the beat. Like I produce the whole track, and I'm the one pitching the track, and I'm doing all the admin work 90% of the time. You know what I'm saying? As far as registrations and
Yep.
everything, and making and contracts, agreements, all of that. I handle everything. So I'm like really a one-stop shop, but I'm also charismatic. I'm not like, oh, like, don't, I'm scared, like social shy. Like,
Right.
most producers be kind of in the background, like we good. So I'm like, let me play into that and let me make sure like I get my personality out there and meet people. So I met Whitney is her name at the Nashville Film Festival, and we kikied. We didn't even talk about music. Like we had a one-on-one and we didn't even talk about music because it had been a long day, and I could tell like she had been talking to people all day. I was the last one-on-one of the day, and I just didn't want to bore her, and I wanted to treat her like a human, not just like, oh, can you come give me a placement? It was just kind of like, girl, how was your day? What's going on? Somehow we got to talking about like Hawaii and like her life, and like we was just like connecting on some
Right.
girly stuff. And I was like, obviously I do music, so let's stay in touch, because I'm trying to get deeper into sing. Let's stay in touch. And we did. And we ended up like there was a Hollywood writer strike right after that, and this is why
Right.
relationships are so important. I stayed in touch with her, even though she wasn't into music like directly at that time for me. I still stayed in. Hey, how's everything going? I know it's crazy right now in Hollywood. What's it looking like for you? She's posting on Instagram. I'm commenting under stuff like, "Oh, hey, this is like," just being human, not
Right.
like needy, if that makes sense. And after 2 years after that, I started getting placed in like most of the shows. Like she got me on The Penguin. That was one that they did. She put me on Reasonable Doubt. Matter of fact, we were on Reasonable Doubt. Didn't we get a placement
Yes,
on
we
Reasonable Doubt?
did. Yep.
Right. So she put me on Reasonable Doubt. She also put me on Will Trent the first time, and then she decided she wasn't going to like be music supervising anymore. And I was like, like I was so sorry. Like,
Yeah.
we talked about it though, because we were still cool, and I understood her decision and why she was transitioning into something else. But in deep down in my heart, I was like, oh, but Whitney, like, you my plug,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Solid connect.
Yeah, so she was like, "Don't worry, I'm going to connect you to the person who's going to be taking my spot," blah, blah, blah. And she did. She put me in touch with Sarah. And, since Whitney left, that was at the top of last year. I still am getting placed. Like, so reasonable doubt, the second time I got placed, the second season around or whatever, it was through the new music supervisor. And now these Will Trent placements are coming from the new music supervisor. Same company, but
Yep.
not Whitney anymore. So that's where like relationships are so important, because somebody vouching for you is what will keep your relationship good when they're not even at the company anymore. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's like I love Whitney. Shout out to her and all the people at Black and White. Actually, I just met Anita, who is newly at Black and White, like since Whitney left. And she I've been emailing her like about these Will Trent placements, but she happened to be in Atlanta for an event recently, and I got to meet her in person, and like we got to like put our faces, to the emails, and that's important. Even though we already had the connection, I was like, I knew she was gonna be here. Let me make sure I'm at where she's gonna be so we could connect and keep it like solid. It's not just an email connection. Let's connect for real in real life.
Right.
So relationships are important for sure.
Absolutely. And also talk about how you have like your circle of artists that you work with as well, because you definitely have like a very distinct group that you work with pretty frequently.
Absolutely. I mean, y'all are like my dream team. I love y'all. Y'all are my go-to because again, y'all gonna hear me say this a lot. Sync is like all about the business. Everybody has good music, y'all, but everybody doesn't have their business together. And that is what makes or breaks you when it comes to getting these placements, especially if you're doing it independently. So like I love working with people who one are talented, of course, but you're gonna find a lot of that, but also people who are professional, they're timely. If I send you this beat and I'm like, hey, the turnaround time is 3 days, you could record your vocals and send them back to me in time for me to also get it to my engineer to have it mixed and
Yeah.
mastered and then turn it in for sync. Like we understand deadlines. So it's you, of course, the amazing Jay Nolan. And then my other core team is Maddie B, fire writer and performer.
Yep.
And we have plenty of placements together. Mogul Maw, I'm not
Yep.
gonna say his government on here. I always say his government. I'm getting it right this time. Mogul Maw,
Yep.
um, another amazing writer, lyricist. We have a lot of placements together as well. And Ogechi is an amazing performer, writer. Like her music is fire. And she was actually the very first placement I ever had was with a record that Ogechi and I did together. So
Okay.
that's like my core team of people who I'm constantly creating with, and that's why, because they've already proven that they are consistent, they are professional. I ain't got to worry about too much. If I'm like, hey, this is the deadline, I know I'm going to be able to count on them to get it back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But it's not just me who be getting all these sync placements. So like I appreciate you asking me the questions, but like I could ask you these same things, like how relationships matter in the placements that you have, because you're like a sync king. Like you do it. You every time
Yeah.
I see placements, I'll be like, yes, go Jay Nolan.
Likewise. I mean, this whole sync thing, like it was never something that was on my radar at first, but like once I got into it, I was like, yo, like I do music, I love music, and this is a way to expand that. You know what I'm saying? So I just went where the opportunities were for real, you know what I mean? Because in the traditional music industry, there's so much like red tape. There's red tape and sync too, but in the music game, there's so much like weird stuff, you know what I mean? As far as
Yeah.
like personalities and the cliques and the friendships and stuff like that, to where if you don't really have an in on that side of it, the talent part can kind of just be secondary or even third.
Mm,
But in the sync side, it's more so like if the music fits and you have at least some form of connection to somebody who knows somebody, you actually have a much higher rate of landing your music in sync. I don't know what's
mm,
going on with my camera. It is very inconsistent right now, but we're gonna just thug it out, man. Um, and I always give credit to Joseph Parker, who actually introduced me to it. Like he's going off like he's in music acquisition and stuff like that now. So like, but he started out like gave me an opportunity to work with this producer named Soul Plus Mine, and we hit the ground running. We got like my first placement was on UFC's Road to the Octagon. We got
Mm,
placements in The Rookie on ABC, so definitely ABC family at this point.
yes.
Um, Shoot, what other stuff came from that? Step Up High Water with Neo and all of them on there.
Mhm.
That show went from it started on YouTube and literally ended up getting acquired by I think it was Stars. So
Oh,
that show had like multiple lifetimes on different networks and stuff like that.
mhm.
So I man, I could go on for days just talking about him because he literally sent me a DM on Twitter and I didn't even know who he was. And so
Wow.
much like just spawned from there because he heard my music and was like, yo, I got this producer that's he's making a living doing this. All you got to do is lay down your vocals. That was my introduction. And
Mm,
then over time, you know, I just got more curious about the process and wanted to be involved myself because I'm like, okay, if y'all aren't, you know, 24/7 pitching, like I would like to, you know, have some other stuff going on, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
that's where you know, like you said, just trying to develop more relationships, have those different collaborators and, you know, just getting with people that are like-minded and kind of on a mutual wave to where it's like, all right, if I'm not doing it, you are. If you aren't, I am. You know what I'm saying? We could kind of bounce off each other,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
we'll be doing it at the same time. You know what I mean? In different
exactly.
areas. So
Yeah. And that's
yeah,
one thing I actually really enjoy about working with you is like I know the songs that we do together, you're pitching them too, because
yep,
you've gotten our songs placed just like I have. So to me, like, and actually, you're the only artist that I work with who has gotten me placed. Everybody else, I've gotten us placed.
gotcha.
So like you're saying, like working with like-minded people is really, really important, and people who are also going to be on the same wave as you, as far as putting in the same amount of work as you, is really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then another thing when it comes to the business and working with people, I feel like we don't talk enough about it because people are always asking about sync, but I think they just go and start working with people. And then when the money come in, it's always like this weird vibe,
Yeah.
like they don't know how to have a conversation. So like what advice would you give to people who want to get into sync as far as like having those conversations about, your splits and things
Yeah.
like that? When you typically do that, I feel like that's valuable information.
So you know, in all of the conversations that I've had with people that want to get into it, that's always the first subject that I tackle with them anyway, is like making sure like make sure that you understand where this person is if it's a producer, like make sure you kind of know that they're making original music cuz that's like the first
Yeah.
barrier. Um and just understand like what y'all's agreements are up front because a lot of times people don't like to talk about that stuff. They get weird about the splits, but it's like let's try to keep it as even as possible. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what's beneficial to everybody. Everybody's going to do their part. So once you get that out the way, it's not complicated, it's not hard. It's actually really the simplest thing cuz then you could just get to the music. Like especially if you're doing stuff repeatedly, it doesn't
Yeah.
really need to be a conversation like, all right, this is how we work. So now we
Yeah.
can just get to the work because we already know what it is. So, um, and you know, a lot of artists, their persona or ego, they put on like they know, you know, and understand things, but it's like, yo, like seriously, like make sure your business is intact. Make sure that you are signed up on ASCAP, BMI, whichever one. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
Mhm.
Is sometimes they'll come and be like, you know, which one is better? And it's like, just get on one of them. Like
Okay,
sign up yesterday.
okay, that part.
You know what I mean? So and just really kind of don't be afraid to ask questions and don't be afraid to be transparent. Like if you need to know something, like ask questions rather than staying silent and then isolating yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I think those things are like super important as well. Cause I think some people they get intimidated
Mhm.
and sometimes intimidation could lead to like a lack of communication.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the other part is like sometimes things happen even when you've had the conversation. Things don't always go the way that they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not on you, but you still have to have the conversation about what went wrong
Yeah.
and not shy away from that. One time, like, we had the placement and like they just didn't include me on the split sheets or the
Yeah.
Q sheets rather, like later. And
Yep.
then I actually had that same situation happen with another company where they did the Q sheets wrong. And I'm looking at the email I sent them with everybody's
Yep.
information. And then I'm looking at the BMI royalty statement like, why is this like this? You know what I'm saying? So how do we get it right? So the other thing I would say, in addition to having these conversations, is also give people the benefit of the doubt when you come to them, when you see a discrepancy. I
Yeah.
would say don't just expect that people are doing bad business, you know? Be don't let people get over on you, you
Right.
know? Like, don't do
Yeah.
that. But like in those situations, I would say like approach the people and hear them out first before you like don't just come with an attitude, because again, relationships are everything and you never want to like damage a relationship unnecessarily, because it could be an honest mistake. It could be somebody else's mistake that, you know, it wasn't them directly. You know what I'm saying? But being able to be a professional, have a conversation about, okay, well, what do we need to do to get this right without it turning into like, oh, you trying to, you know, like it's very important as well.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
with those things being said, like once again, let people know like how they can get in contact with you, how they can, see your film, because you got two of them at this point. You know what I
Yep.
mean? To where they can learn from London Elixir, because I'm sure there's some musicians that are watching this, and they may see, they may be watching you on social media and seeing these placements that you're getting. So where can they get in contact and get access to all of this stuff that you have going on?
Absolutely. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at London Elixir, like Elixir, and then the letter L, the letter X. I'll pop up. The link is in my bio to everything. We also have a Sink or Swim official page on Instagram. It's literally SYNC, like Sink or Swim official on Instagram. And we're trademarked. So if anybody else saying Sink or Swim, it ain't us, okay?
Mm,
We're trademarked now.
that
Had to do
part.
that because I ain't gonna speak too much on that, but I had to get the trademark. And then the films, yes, there are two films. One is the short film. The short film I like to tell people is for inspiration. Go watch that. It's free on YouTube. Just type in Sink or Swim, London Elixir. It's on my YouTube channel. Go watch it for free. Get inspired. It's only like 20 minutes. It's a short film. Now, if you really want to learn how to get into sync, you need to go watch our feature film. That's what it's called. Feature film, Sink or Swim, Diving Deeper. That one, the link is in my bio. It's also on the Sink or Swim official page. It's in our bio. You could go watch that for $15. And I'm telling you, y'all, like the information that's in this film, if I had this information, I would have been like light years ahead. This is like way more information than people are giving y'all on some of these panels that they putting together. And I'm gonna just be clear. So you'll learn about the business. You'll learn about how I do it. There are music supervisors in the film directly telling you what they're looking for when you submit. Like it's just a wealth of information. So the short film again is for inspiration. The feature film is for if you really trying to do this, you know what I'm saying? Information, not just you will be inspired too, but this is going to give you that information you really need. And then after that, if you still have questions about how to apply it directly, say you go and do all the stuff from the film first, then you still have questions, you can always book a consultation with me as well. Those links are in my bio, everything you need, or shoot me a DM if you have issues finding them, but everything is linked in my bio on Instagram.
All right. So there it is. London Elixir. Jay Nolan clearly just got shot off the screen. But this was a dope conversation, dope placement, dope song with Count It Up. And
Yes.
again, make sure y'all tune into Will Trent so that y'all can see it and hear the music on there. And she's on there a few times. So go back and binge watch the season so that y'all can get caught up on everything.
Yes, and go stream the song. It's available on all digital streaming platforms. Count It Up, written by Jay Nolan, produced and
Yes,
performed by me. So make sure y'all go run up them streams.
for sure. And I'm probably gonna put the song in this video too so that they can hear it and know what they're looking for too. So yes,
Perfect.
indeed, London Elixir, Count It Up, written by your boy Jay Nolan. Uh thank y'all for tuning in. Much love and respect. We're gonna see y'all in a little bit. All right. Peace.
Yeah, family over fame and
this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'm never politicking, the drama be piling on. Father and greats unacknowledged like I'm Bobby Bonds. Conversation with my lady about the paper route. 5 sit bank accounts, every day I make it count. They down talking my commentary for hating now. Well, I can take it cause I'm bodying your favorite now, please. I can do this shit in my sleep. I been writing for these niggas, y'all read it and weep. I been fighting these niggas if you speak on the street. I turn your birthday party into New Year's Eve. Don't let me take it there. We ain't playing fair. This the ATL, Southside nigga moving furniture like Wayfair. Life on hold, no insurance for your healthcare. Lifeline gone, so you wanna be a millionaire? Well, let me tell you about this world I built. The women I dodged, the niggas that I read.